Hello, this talk is on the what caused the economic crisis, the banking crisis, the credit crunch as it's called, and also what why we need English social democracy. Uh, well, the financial crisis, in my view, is caused by too much expansion of the money supply. That is, too much money being printed. This caused too much inflation building up, and then uh, that money couldn't find the goods and services. So that's what causes inflation, and the rise of um, prices was higher than people could sustain, and then that caused the crash in the amount of credit available. Um, this seems a bit of a strange um, thing to say, because I mean, obviously now we need more people to be on credit and more money flowing into the economy. Well, um, this expansion was done by the Bank of England for good reasons. Um, we were quite close to a recession before it happened, and they were trying to expand the economy onto a new level, at which point production and the flow of credit into the system would um, catch up with the money supply. Um, and so banks issued too many loans, they took too many risks on the margin, and this caused people to make bad deals basically. For instance, there's often been called the ninja loan, which is no income, no job, no abode. Um, it was given out to people who weren't suited to having that kind of mortgage or loans. Um, Now, seeing it this way, you would say, well, don't we need money that works within the free market to adjust itself automatically? And a lot of people on YouTube and the internet are in what I call the gold standard crowd. They believe in the old gold standard, but this has got some major problems with it. Firstly, whoever has the gold makes the rule. That's the golden rule. And what if there's countries such as Russia or South Africa that we are not particularly happy with, and they've got all the gold? Of course, Gordon Brown sold off our gold because there is, of course, now paper. What is effectively paper gold, paper bonds issued by the government that act in the same way as gold. So, do we really need gold? I would say that if you base your currency on gold and silver, you're also putting an inherent inequality into your system, because if you've if you've read any books from like the Edwardian and Victorian times, you will see, for instance, this book by Robert Tressel, that they had the gold standard then, and it's called The Ragged Trousered Philanthropist. And some people who were paid in real money, of course, were never received a gold sovereign. They never saw what gold was, so they could never put any away for their savings. So much of their income was actually tied up in the worth of the money itself. Now, so money being worth too much is just as bad as money being worth too little, and that's where you get inflation and deflation. It's the price of money, and you want the price of money to be in equilibrium with the goods and services that it's using. You know, that's the monetarist argument, if you like. Now, the Keynesian argument could say that money is worth nothing at all. You know, you could pay people to put bottles in the sand, and that would be their job, just to make sure that they had enough food and water and means to live. But of course, that is bad economics in a sense, because the job has no purpose. You know, other than the charity of having the job. Certain amounts of logic go into that, and reason I can understand. Um, but why do you think? Why is it that I think that we need a social democratic England? Um, and this covers quite a few topics. Uh, I believe that we need an English Parliament. We need, or at least we need regional parliaments, like the land system in federal Germany or in the United States with the different states. I think Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, and maybe Cornwall as well, should be given the right to statehood within the United Kingdom, and that we should join the euro, and that would ease tensions between the three main nations within Great Britain. I'm an English nationalist. I'm not a British nationalist. I don't want the empire. I'm not anti-immigration. I want the currency to be backed by an index of different commodities. So you've got as many commodities as you can, and that's sort of similar to the retail price index that we've already got. Although that just monitors the price, and they adjust the price of money to the price of goods by maths basically, but rather than any sort of free market. But of course, the euro is backed partially by an index of goods, and it's partially what they call fiat money, which is, paper receipts for the amount of gold and silver that's kept in banks, in theory, anyway. Right, it doesn't quite work like that. What annoys people quite a lot in England is the transport system. If we had regional parliaments, then, for instance, in South London, there's almost no underground tubes. If we had a proper parliament for the south and the north of London, rather than one parliament, which is always focused on what the city and the north of London wants, and the West End of London, then perhaps we would get more for Kent and North and South London, and similar for the North East and North West. These sort of different land parliaments, as I would say, would necessitate the representatives going to the EU Commission to ask for money and regional things, and partially that's being done. Why would this be social democratic in nature? Well, social democrats generally believe in democracy, and social welfare. That is a welfare state, but also that we should have production in our economy. It shouldn't just be financial services, which is what Britain mostly works on. We don't send tangible exports abroad. We bring intangible flows of capital. Those are financial services like insurance, banking, from abroad, because we had the legacy of the empire. Now, if we join with Europe and we're in the euro, all that financial muscle that we've got will be melded with the export muscle of Germany, France and Italy and Spain, and that will be brought together into a very powerful combination. I think that would make us a hyperpower rather than just a European superpower. So I believe in local democracy as well as national democracy and regional democracy, and so I think we could keep the monarchy as figureheads, basically, as the head of the Church of England. If you're religious, that would be, although I'm an atheist, that would be suit you. But we can have a president of Europe, which will give us the republican ideal that I would seek for England if I had, the ability to do it. So I hope I've covered a lot of topics here. I hope you like this talk. Peace and all the best.